Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new review. Behind me is the new Peugeot 2008 in the GT Pack. This is a gorgeous spec. In this video, we're going to take an in-depth tour of the exterior, interior details, check the infotainment, do a proper full in-depth review. There's going to be a separate video where I'm going to take this car for a point of view driving, so you can hear all the sounds this car makes. And there's going to be a separated night point of view drive where I summon my impressions on the road as well. So don't miss those. Subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. Click the little bell to get notified when I upload those new videos. And without further ado, let's just jump into the review. So here's the gorgeous new 2008 in GT Pack. We have a gorgeous red color, dark, like cherry dark red, and we have some black contrasting details. Now here's the key, and we're filming with the new iPhone 13 Pro, so has a new way of focusing, so apologies if there would be some focusing issues. You can push this to the side, and then you can extend a physical key inside. So that's the key. You can lock, unlock, and press and hold to turn on the lights or turn them off. Now if we unlock the car, you can see the mirrors unfold. Then it flashes and it's going to turn to solid, turn off. And if we lock the car, you can see those claws are turning to locking lights or amber lights. So these are your daytime running lights that turn into turn signals as well. Now there might be occasional traffic here, but we're going to ignore it as always. Coming to the side to check the car, gorgeous detail, beautiful combo red and black details. Now let's come to the front, check the new 308 badge. And I gotta say, this looks like an infinity number, although these are supposed to be 2 zeros, but very gorgeous in design. We have the black line. Now this is the 2022 late model, model year 2022, but this is going to get in 2022 an update with a new shield. So have in mind, no questions. Actually, just to answer those questions that might be coming up in the comment sections about the shield and the line. We have the little camera. We have one on the front and one on the rear. This is wide lens, 180 degrees fisheye lens. We have some chrome details inside, and we have the Peugeot full LED technology. So what we have here are 2 lenses. And I gotta say, these lights are maybe even a little bit too bright because this is an SUV. You're a little bit tall, you're blinding people. I think Peugeot should think about maybe lowering the brightness. You can actually see the luminance 2600 and 4000 luminance inside. This is also connected with a claw on the bottom and finishing with a little chrome. This is closed black, I guess, for better aerodynamics. Some research say it's better not to have this opening inside. Some say it's better to have it closed, who knows. But I don't think it really matters. The car looks gorgeous. And then if we look at the bottom, we have an air intake there on the top as well. But we have a radar on the bottom, and we have a nice sort of front lip that is actually plastic protection, and on the top you have a little piano black. So this is great if you're going off-roading. No worries, you're going to damage your paint and your clear coat. Watching the hood, we have this like extending, maybe like claws, I don't know. Let me just show you some details. So there's a lot of design, if I unlock the car, a lot of design language in this car. So this looks like a claw, the headlights look like a lion, and then you have the little ears like it's happy kitty or something like that. I might be exaggerating a bit, but there is something in the design language of the Peugeot, and I think it's very appealing to Peugeot fans and their customers. Over here we have a 19-inch silver black, gray black finish, and if I come a little bit closer, you can see that this is kind of gray and then sort of dark gray or black Tire dimension is 205/55 R19. These are winter contact TS 850P Continental tires, very good tires. I believe, at least in my personal opinion and in a lot of tests that I saw, Continental and Michelin are probably one of the best winter tires. Again, protection on the bottom all the way to the end of the car. If you're going off-roading, very practical. Hybrid 4, this means this is an all-wheel drive car. Now let's talk about little specs. So this is a plug-in hybrid car, and we have a total power of 300 horsepower, but inside we have a 1.6 liter PureTech with 200 horsepower, and we have two electric motors that are aiding the main petrol motor. So they both have around 100 horsepower, but they're software limited. So total power is 300 horsepower, but the petrol engine has 200 horsepower, again with the aid of two electric motors that are sharing another 100 horsepower. So with that out of the way, let's continue on. And of course, 0 to 100 is 6.1 seconds, which is kind of fun for the SUV. And top speed is 240 kilometers per hour. Battery 55 kilometers to 64, and VLTP 13.2 or something, 4, something like that. 13 kilowatts hour battery, small battery. But those are the tech specs. Now, side profile, gorgeous look. We have tinted windows in the rear. Black roof racks. Come a little bit closer. They're kind of slim. Aluminum finish, nice matte, and we have the panel roof that's also tinted on the top. Another feature, another detail, new mirrors have nice and long turn signal, and you have a little light there. So there's going to be a separated video with the B-roll. We can see all the details of this car, and day and night. Door handles have a lock and unlock from the inside. You have a physical cylinder. We're going to come back to the interior just to cover the exterior. Also big windows on the C-pillar, high. So we have this tinted, and I like that. I think in car industry this should be standard. You should always have tint on the rear. It's very practical if you have kids, if you leave some stuff on the back. Over here is your Type 2, and here's some information about unlocking the charge port, interrupting the charging, or ending the charging. This is your Type 2 for AC charging. It's going to take you about 2-3 hours in the winter to charge your car if you're using the 11 kilowatt public charging station. Although this is more imagined of you charging at home. So I gotta really emphasize this, because plug-in hybrids are great, but they're a combination of both worlds, but they have a small battery and it's intended for you to charge it at home. It's not really intended for you to charge it on public charging station, because it takes too long. You're blocking electric cars who have only electric driving. So if you have a plug-in hybrid, please charge at home, and then when you're done charging, please unplug your car. Don't leave your car when it's fully charged blocking the charging stations, because you're blocking other people and you're stealing their time. So be responsible. Okay, so continuing on, well, just a little details. So I gotta show the details. Peugeot LED technology. The design of this strikes, it looks amazing. Again, my personal favorite details are these kind of details on the cars. If I unlock the car, you can see just gorgeous looking. 308. Now we have to press to open the cargo. Just a little bit down here, we have again black protection, plastic little piano black on the top just for elegancy. Unfortunately, fake exhaust. Real pipe is on the right side. Have fog lights on the bottom, and there's the backing camera I've mentioned. You have white LED license plates, and 308 with the hybrid on the rear, and also black Peugeot and Lion. Discrete spoiler on the top, but nothing special there. You can see those. So let the car open up all the way. Very practical, opens fairly tall. I'm a 2-meter tall person, so you can see 180 perhaps is the height. You can close it here manually. This makes no sense. I mean, it will be more practical if you have both ends to close it up, but it is what it is. You can remove these if you want to remove this shelf. This is practical. You can put a longer umbrella here. You have the rubber stoppers here for better closing sound. Now, cargo space. We have 395 liters. If you knock down the seats, 1,354.7. Now, this is also very practical, spacious, and you have a flat bottom. So why is this great? Well, if you're on camping on the road, you can stop like this. You can change. You're covered if it's raining. So it's very practical. So flat bottom, great for loading luggage. You have here option to knock down the bench. So let me do that. Before I do that, seats knock down 60/40 with a middle opening, but you can't reach it from the outside. You have to open it from the inside. That's a little bit downside, and you have tether points on those ends. You have net points here and here, all 4 sides. A little light here. The inside light is warm. Didn't turn on before for some reason. 12-volt socket. Let me here, there. So what's new about the iPhone 13, I noticed it's very good in a dark environment. And over here you can see you can knock down those. So let's pop this one down. Now it doesn't go all the way flat. It's at this angle because there's a lot of cushioning in the seats. Now this is my backpack. Let me see if I can put it over there to show you the space underneath. So in Croatia, this is where you have your emergency triangle first aid kit and some spare bulbs, fire extinguisher, a little place here. This is a stopper for cargo. So yeah, there you go. So you can maybe put this as a blocker or something similar. And just to show you here, no reviewer is going to show you this, so thumbs up. There's some electronics. This one's maybe too heavy to show it to you, but you can still open this. You can see, so this is the patching kit on the right, and you have your Schuko Type 2. There's supposed to be also a Type 2 for the public charging stations, but I think someone removed it and forgot to put it back. Which comes to the problem, I didn't charge the car really. There is an option to charge it while driving with a petrol engine, but then the fuel consumption is crazy. And this is my critic, because if you don't charge this car at home, if you go to the city, you don't charge a lot because you won't spend hours and hours shopping. So you really won't be charging this car a lot. So it's intended to charge overnight if you have a garage or if you're at home. Otherwise, you're dragging a heavy battery and you're increasing your fuel consumption with kind of crazy 15 liters per 100 kilometers. Over here is a place for emergency triangle if you want to store it there. Now here's the fuel cap, but you have to open it with a button so no one can steal your fuel. Which I'm going to demonstrate here. There's a button here. Now sometimes there's literally no traffic here. Sometimes when I come to film there's loads of traffic, so apologies, but nothing really I can do. I just love this place because it's in the nature. There's a little creek there. Lovely place. This is your recommended fuel. Once you close it, it's locked. Let's get into the interior part. So very good opening and closing sound, and you don't need to use a lot of force. Very easy to open. And what's also great is that the doors go all the way down, so there's no water residue over here when you're washing the car. This is The seats, not really perhaps the best solution. Now you can knock them down by pressing here. Seatbelt has this ear so it doesn't go down. Now what is practical about this car, the doors open very wide. Don't worry, I'm paying attention to the traffic behind me. So seals good, excellent soundproof inside this car. You also have seals on the bottom. You can put a key here, turn this, and then you would enable opening from the inside for the kids. Hard plastics on the top, beautiful Alcantara-ish finish, but this is not Alcantara, this is something similar, like some sort of suede material, similar. And little chrome details, focal speakers with metal finish, high quality look. This is nice and soft, leather with some perhaps copper, no, or white stitches, and power windows. Ball area here, kind of plasticky on the rear, and another big speaker on the bottom. Look at the seats and the leather, good looking, and then the same material. Very big cushions. That's why the seats don't really fall down all the way. This will be the points, and you have big headrest. You have a beautiful glass roof, so a lot of light coming inside. There are ambient lights as well. On the top, I'm going to show you just, let's hop inside. Now have in mind, the seat is probably at the lowest position, I think. And I was sitting in the front, so not a lot of feet room in that case. And kind of tight knee room as well, because I'm a 2 meter tall person. If an average person was sitting in the front, you would have enough space. Little net there. 12-volt outlet. Very practical. AC vents, little space for something. 2 A chargers for fast charging. And the driver's side, driver has a lumbar on this area. Not really the best position. They usually put it on the left side. So here's the closing sound. Just to move this water bottle. Some good traffic. And so excellent closing sound. Now, not hard bump or toop sound, but really good sound. It's just very nice. I can't describe it otherwise. I mean, in a different way. Now, since this is a, I guess, plug-in hybrid, it's really interesting. There's no transmission toll, so there's a lot of room for feet. But you can see there's not a lot of room here. And the reason for this is the seats are high, probably because of the battery position, which might be on the rear. And they are going down. They really look comfortable. They are comfortable, but they are tall. So let me show you here. You have the middle armrest, quite functional. You can press here to open to the rear. And then nice details, room for elbows, tall windows. There's even one in the C pillar there, and good overview on the rear. You have the LED lights on the top, which you need to turn. Excuse me. You need to turn the ignition to be able to open it up. They're white LED, and you have a ambient light on the top here. Let me see if I can open the doors. There you go. And you can see this one as well. So that is really gorgeous, especially at night. And now to show you. Okay, so 2 meter tall person. I'm actually going through the roof. And because this is a hybrid, this is definitely not a combo for a tall person. I think 180 you would be touching still, but if you're an average, you would be better. But I think in this case, this is really not practical. So if you're looking for the plug-in hybrid, maybe don't spec the glass roof. On the top, you have handles slowly closing. You have the little hook there. Nothing on the B pillar, but you have the adjustable seat belt. Some car manufacturers are removing those, and handles are on all 4 sides. Let's get to the front. As mentioned, driver has the cylinder there. Now I'm just gonna leave this water bottle here. There we go. And just not to forget, so how do you know if you're buying a used car? This is a factory tint. You have this V, Roman 5. Now, front doors open even wider, also standard in the industry for the most part. This is soft, but it feels like hard plastic just with some spongy material underneath. This is soft where you lean your elbows, so I think that's okay. Power windows, all automatic. Power mirrors, all power windows, automatic. You can lock the rear. This turns on only when the car ignition is on. And you have another speaker here, nice design. You have a flint inside, look at this, on the front, not on the rear, so maybe less rattling over there. You have the Peugeot aluminum doorstep. Here's the tire pressure information, at least for the 19-inch tires. Seats, this is for up and down. Push this up to slide back and forward. And this is for tilting. Sport paddles. This is little space there. You have the lane assist control off. And on. Where it holds the lane, this is you can turn off so it doesn't warn you. This is warning when you're passing the lane. Fuel cap opening and conditioning the battery. You can preheat the battery or program it, I guess, when you're commuting. But this area is for the key, obviously, which is in my pocket. Just a moment. So there we go. So seats, we have some cloth on the exterior, leather and Alcantara. This is nice, so you don't have to have the knee area. Big bolsters, kind of shorter on the top, but long on the top as well. Very nice. And what I really like is this combo of dark and light, so it kind of opens up the space. Let's get inside. Good closing sound. I'm going to switch to my wide lens. So this is the point of view. Again, as mentioned, there's going to be point of view driving with no talking, daytime, and separated at night with full impressions on the road. Now, I like the dash. It's kind of very much developed, sort of driver oriented. And let's focus back on. Check the steering wheel. So we have the GT on the bottom. Some contrasting copper stitching there. Perforated leather on the sides. And this car has 20,000 kilometers, so the steering wheel is already a little bit greasy, perhaps. Peugeot, you have the line. The new one is going to have the badge here. We have the voice commands, volume controls, infotainment for the trip computer, a list, source, and phone calls. Have sport paddles, which you're probably never going to use. Light switches, cruise control. So it's either, well, cruise, limiter off, memory on the top. You have this plus and minus behind buttons, and this one. So for the speed and the distance on the top. And you have the wiper controls, and this is also for the trip computer. Now it's manual, so you can raise it up. Because of the screen on the top, the steering wheel is usually lower. Now A-pillar focal speakers, also metal finish, very nice. Over here, this is kind of soft, although this is plastic, so it might make some, noises, but just it's the matter of being connected. Really can do a lot. Focal speaker on the top, also high quality finish. contrast stitching. So this is leather and nice and soft. Also love this material. It kind of stretches through the dash. Soft and then hard on some other ends. Below the screen you have air vents, some chrome details, and on the bottom you have a shortcuts. And it look like a piano. They're very nice, and you have this physical buttons that we all like. Underneath you have a USB-A 12-volt outlet, wireless charging pad. This illuminates green when the phone is charging. Start stop engine. Come on, camera. You have the automatic, 8-speed automatic, park, reverse neutral drive, and braking mode for the recuperation. Little area here with a rubber mat, driving modes, electronic parking brake, downhill assist. Piano black, already huge damage, not a huge fan, and unfortunately no auto hold. Sorry, this is a cable from my mic. And here we have the cup holders that are adjustable. They have the rubber mat on the bottom, and you can see they have also a illumination. So this is when the lights come on. Close the doors, you're gonna switch off. Nice and soft armrest, opens up like Mercedes-Benz, and you have a little rubber here, so if you have a cable it won't get squashed. Loads of space here. So apparently someone didn't put this back, so you have this cubby here. So I assume it stands like that or similar. Okay, let me just show you inside. Loads of space. So this is one of the biggest glove compartments I've ever seen. And there we go, managed to pull that. So you can have this also rubber. Put your parking tickets here. Now the seats on the front have ISOFIX points as well. Gorgeous looking. So this is kind of, let me just try that again, slowly opening, and we have some insurance information here, stuff like that. Loads of cargo. And for the Croatian audience, this is the spec on Croatian, and the full price. I'm gonna type it in euros on the bottom. Okay, with that out of the way, I think we can turn on the infotainment. Okay, before we turn on the infotainment, just to show you the headspace. So loads of headspace for a 2-meter tall person, 6.6, and you have also a great overview. Nice big mirrors. You have a blind spot there, and good overview on the rear. On the top, you have an emergency button, service call. You have airbag information and seat belt light that's white. These lights again need to have ignition on for that. Shade and the glass roof. We have this visor here. Beauty light, again, also ignition needs to be on, and you have a documents holder. This unfortunately doesn't extend all the way, so there's an area shining. And now let's turn on. Now you can see all the screens. You have to hold the button. You can also see the blind spot warning there. And then the cockpit turns on. Now this is the eye level, so you're seeing the screen very good. Zooming in. Okay, didn't expect that one. To be fair, I was filming the car, so it's kind of I'm gonna turn on the engine. Okay, everything good now. To show you this, so Here's the button to reset the trip. It's kind of hard to get there. There we go. And here's the button to turn off the ambient light. Now, the ambient lights, you have them in the doors on the front, and you also have them over here somewhere. To be honest, I saw a light, but I can't find it now. Okay, kind of feel stupid now. Digital cockpit looks awesome, or the iCockpit as Peugeot calls it. Excellent graphics, refresh rate doesn't flicker on the camera. This is the electric mode, so with the driving modes here, you can switch those to a hybrid, to a sport, and it goes green, to all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and to a fully electric. Now, if you go with this little guy, press it in. Actually, just roll it. You can see here, you can have the driving information. Apologies. I'm clearing my throat because winter season, dry air, stuff like that. Navigation. This is one of the gorgeous things in Peugeot. I wish it has a 3D cockpit, but this one doesn't. And you can have this, then the minimum, and the energy. You see the status of the battery, and you can also see the dials, which is a classic I had. Now to the screen. Also, just a moment. On the personal, there was an option to press this guy, and then over here you can see the trip meter, trip 2. So 9.5 liters. As mentioned, when the battery is low, you're not going to have a great fuel economy. I was driving here and charging the battery with the petrol because, again, I didn't have the cable to plug it in, and the charging station that did have it was occupied. Now, to the main screen. I'm not going to be fully detailed here. I've covered it in many videos, but I'm going to do a brief overlook of everything. On the bottom, you have shortcuts. Hazards, you can see it in the driver's mirrors and the driver position. That's excellent. On the bottom, let's just cover this. You can lock or unlock the car, rear defrost, close the air recirculation, max blow on the front, volume, and press to mute. Focal speakers are great, nice and clear sound, nice bass, but I can't play for too long not to get a copyright strike. Here you have Apple CarPlay. So my camera is connected to the Apple CarPlay. Have that in mind, so it might be a little bit laggy. Actually, it's working pretty solid. Used to lag. You can use all the apps like PlugShare to find charging stations, Waze, and let's see if it's gonna work. Apple CarPlay. So my camera is connected to the Apple CarPlay. Have that in mind, so it might be a little bit laggy. Actually, it's working pretty solid. Used to lag. You can use all the apps like PlugShare to find charging stations, Waze, and let's see if it's gonna work. It's actually working a lot better than it used to before, and it's nice. You can use the screen, although because of the climate controls it's kind of narrow, but still you can use it. It's very nice and functional. Peugeot app and Android Auto. I'm not going to go to the details. You have the phone, you can connect via Bluetooth. Then you have the car settings. Over here you have vehicle settings, parking, headlights, comfort, safety, pause and read. In every one you have a explanation, or additional information. Driving functions. There you go. You always have the climate control, outside temperature and time. Climate. AC, on, off, automatic, AC max, off, options like temperature conditioning, automatic, soft, normal, or fast, air quality, and mono, on or off. This is basically a dual climate control. Air directions, temperature, fan speed, and so on. Music on the bottom, have radio lists, sources if you want to play something else, options. I'm just going to go to the audio settings. You can control here and see what kind of sound do you want. You can put the sound where you want. You can put it into the center. Sorry. And stuff like that. Okay, radio talk. Okay, actually here's the reset button I was looking for. But it keeps turning on the volume. If I mute it, I want to mute it. Okay, and you can press 3 fingers and then you get this menu, which is just shortcuts. Navigation. Navigation is excellent. You have here the level above the sea, and you have here 3D, 2D. You can also see the charging stations around you, and the blue bubble is your electric range, which kind of decreases in the winter, which is natural for batteries. You have 3D buildings, stuff like that. You can avoid tools, ferries, and so on. Classical, you have here day and night or automatic, which is cool. Map, alerts, vocal mapping, and so on. And these little gears here, you can have multiple profiles. If you have a family or a company car, you can turn off the screen. If you want to drive minimally with just the front, tap to turn it on. Shortcut for audio settings, and menu over here. You have some connection, service, Wi-Fi, and some privacy shared information with the Peugeot. Now, let me just check here. There were over here. Oh, options, and here you have system settings, units, stuff like that. Languages, multiple languages. Not going to go through those. Date and time is an instrument panel. So, in the personal, you have the power meter. Excuse me. In the personal, you have the power meter, energy, engine temperature, empty, driving aids, media, navigation, trip, and stuff like that. So these change on the other one over there. And over here we have the RPM, rev counter, trip computer, navigation, media, or empty, or driving aids. So it might be cool to have a navigation or similar. So you can play with that. You can customize to your personal preferences. And screen configuration, here you have the brightness, ambience, stuff like that. So this is the entire infotainment. It always stays on the menu you selected, so you have to press again if you want to have a navigation here. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera was having a little difficulties there. In that case, actually might be better to just go to the settings and put a dark theme there. Although it didn't switch, but that's odd. Oh, there. Oh, you have to press the OK, and then there, it's all good. And a little detail I missed, the little button here brings you to a energy, so you have the flow, the driving mode, statistics, your fuel used, charging, and e-save. And this allows you, if you turn it on, to burn fuel if you want to charge your battery. And then on the top on the screen there you get a max, so you can turn it off if you want to, and in that case you'll have a lower fuel consumption if the battery is charged. But if you turn it on, you're going to be spending more fuel to charge the onboard battery. So that was everything. Now car is on. You have to, is it on? Okay, on and off. Oh, it's in electric. So you have to press here to put it to reverse. You can see the rear. You can see the rear camera. Absolutely horrible, to be honest. This is very blurry. The car maps front and rear. So it has this blind spot. Now, if you want to put it to drive, no problem here. You can do this. You have to put to a lock, and then you can just push it like that into neutral, drive. Towards yourself is a brake. So here, normal drive, brake allows you to recuperate. And if you want to push it to reverse, you have to press and just press to park. So very self-explanatory. And that's it. So let's get outside and wrap it up by showing you the front bonnet. It's nice and warm under the hood. Opening on the 2008 is on the right side of the badge. You have to use a little leg there. Have the sound insulation. This is the mechanism to open it. Blue left corner, top left corner is the washer fluid. Here's the Pure Tech 1.6 liter, I believe 4-cylinder, if I'm not mistaken. This is the 200 horsepower petrol engine. The side there is electronics. There's a 12-volt battery. I think underneath there's a small electric motor, one on the rear, perhaps for the hybrid setup, and the batteries towards the rear, if I'm not mistaken. So I really like to hear your opinions about the car, so I left the key probably inside the car. Okay, put my jacket on, it's kind of cold. And to show you the rear, actually I showed you the rear, but you just locked the car. Anyway, that's the full review of the new 2008 GT Pack. I hope you enjoyed the review. Again, don't forget to watch the point of view driving. And I really think this is a nice and elegant car. Has its pros and cons like every car, but I would say it's better on the pros. Really nice and elegant SUV. So everyone, thank you for watching. Be a cool person, smash the like button, leave a comment below. How do you like the new 2008 GT plug-in hybrid? And if you want to see more cars, more reviews, feel free to subscribe to the channel again and click the bell to get notified when you see new videos. And as always, stay safe on the road and at home. I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.